All right, something real quick I wanted to riff on, kind of piggybacking the baby post I did today. Not playing fucking water as I'm around my natural environment. Getting in my first movement inputs of the day. For those of you who are getting aggravated or trying to find fault in what I'm doing as far as, well, of course you're moving like that. You live at the beach. If I lived at the beach, blah, blah, blippity blip. First of all, of fucking course I'm at the beach. And of fucking course I'm moving at the beach. This is why I moved here. This is why I risked everything, drained my bank account, went totally on my own to come out to this location, to do exactly this. Every single morning, every single night. Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, I got this. It's here too if you want to get it. And this isn't the only one. But this also isn't the only place I move. Could you imagine if I made movement dependent on whether I'm outside or not? Like training? That's just like going to a facility that if that facility, if my environment isn't exactly what I needed or exactly present or available at that time, then I can't train. And that doesn't make any sense. Do I enjoy coming out here and doing this? Of course I do. This is why I moved out here. This is why it's a big part of my life. But it is not the only inputs of moving and training that I do. My training exists in my bed. My training exists in my kitchen. My training exists by my front door. My training exists in the bathroom, in the shower, in the movie room. My training exists at the grocery store, in my car. My training exists in my office for the last 3 weeks that I have it open. My training exists every fucking where this body is. And there's no way that we can survive to a level of not complaining about our body getting our attention through symptoms of healing. All symptoms and sensations are feelings of healing. There's no way we can survive just having it be at a single place that you like to go this one time a day, or this facility that has this special stuff, or this special person, or this cute person, or this nice, graceful, gentle person that delivers it in a way that's very gentle. For you to go to that, it has to be in and around you at all times. And so speaking about that, that would literally be as if the baby wasn't going to learn to walk unless it went to a class. There will be no babies learning to develop in life at a class, although they're trying to find it. And although I had these clowns, I spoke maybe at the Encinitas Little League or something here. I was trying to promote people changing their lives and then kids as a side effect, but they just wanted to hear, what can my kid do to be better and all these other things, which is again why I want to do that live Zoom webinar to update and edit my book and things I would have added to it, things I would have said in a way that I wasn't controlled for, and a lot of changes, especially in the rebuild section, some other things that I'll talk about briefly right now, but I want to go into that and be like, if I were to truly write this book and be able to put in it what I wanted, be able to say the things that I wanted, or things that I've changed per my experimentation in my life. But this guy at Encinitas reached out and he was developing baby developmental child toys or something. And it was all these hack toys, ways to hack to speed up the development of children. And he wanted me to wanted to pay me this consultant fee to come out and sit with his R&D team. I'm like, are you sure? Needless to say, when I told him what I would do if I were there and what I think about his business and what I think about these gadgets and these toys and what I think about him trying to create things that speed up and amplify the development of children to a level we've never seen before, almost like it's like sports enhancement or biohacking for fucking infants. He's like, okay, probably not a good idea. Like, no. And so, again, the child will never learn to develop in a class. You will never learn to develop in a class. It can't work that way. And so if we think of it like this, think of movement, I'll go brief on it. Think of movement as your first language, because it was. You didn't know words. You didn't know how to express yourself. You only knew how to move your body, and that's what we started with. So that's the foundation of everything. Even now, as you express yourself emotionally, as you digest, as you change relationships, as you explore your purpose, as you change your vocation, your peace with your vocation, as you go and get light, or you go and make meals or you go and movement is the common denominator across all of that, and your capacity to sustain and adapt to life is completely directly proportionate to your ability to move and sustain force through the tissues of your body, period. So we weren't supposed to lose that. So if movement is a language, is your language, your vernacular, your nuance, your specific language, and you go to a class, they're essentially where they're telling you what to do, how to do it, when to do it, frequency to do it, what to feel, what to think, what to ba. They're essentially telling you what to say. They're essentially telling you what words you can use, only these words and only this way, in this rigid manner. And I don't know about you, but when you put it that way, fuck that. I would never want to be told what to say, which is, again, something else I'm going to go into the book that I'm going to divulge on. Guided as to what you could say. And now people are going to be like, isn't that what you do in your one-on-ones? Not even close. And you know this if you work with me on one-on-ones. And the difference between me doing a video on Instagram versus you having 2 to 4 hours with me, for me to be able to talk to you and go back and forth slowly at a pace that you can handle to get certain items shared truthfully, and your concerns and your experiences and your interpretation of things, and be able to break all that down at a pace that we can go at for 4 hours versus a 10-minute Instagram video. I leave Instagram videos or posts being that if I were to discontinue in this suit of body, and this was the last thing I said, it got your attention. It was a bottle note thrown at your head, and you had it. You had the information, so you can't say you didn't know. That's where I'm leaving it. And I will choke you out in a 10, 12-minute video to get your attention, to give you the truth, to not varnish it, to not try to hold back, to not do it in this series of events. Like, no, this is it. This is the truth. This is what you need to know per this page and me, per my experiences, per my life enhancements that I've gone through and what I've experienced in this whole thing and what continues to work. Here you go. Know it, take it, go find out on your own, or fucking leave, and it's totally cool. But there's a big difference between one-on-ones and Instagram. As people who have worked with me find out, they're like, oh shit, like, well, of course. All right, so if movement and true training is a language, then who would know how to learn? Who would know what language, the way you want to say it, how you want to say it, what subjects you want to talk about, where you want to devote the use of that language to? Who would know that more than you? Nobody. So there's no way a class or a group of any kind could ever take into consideration all the stories of all the people with all the intention and all the inputs and all the reasons and all the backstories and all the things. There's no way they would ever be able to possibly know. So I just want you to understand that as you're trying to explore what true training is, it's not going to be in a class. Now, some of you are like, well, the instructor is hot and I want to bang her or him, or I want to date her or him, or I like the group there. It's a fun group of people and it's social, and social is important. Or I'm a part of a team and we go to a sports facility as a team, or it's we're getting ready for a competition outside, whatever. That's fine. You can keep those things in your life. I've seen them healthfully be able to sustain. You'll see the reason why you wouldn't want to do that, or why there's no reason to do that, or why don't you guys just gather and go for a walk, or why don't you go jump in the ocean? Why you have to go to a fitness class? Because you understand the bullshit behind all of them. But if you want to, then a class of some kind or a team aspect of a session of some kind is just an opportunity for you to express what you've been working on your own in true training at all times. As soon as you get out of bed, in the kitchen, in the bathroom, in the car, in the garden, in your movie room, in wherever. That's why those classes are there, to just be able to fuck around and express and go, check out what I've been doing. But again, when you start to explore what training truly is, you'll see all those classes as, this is stupid. There's no way I can develop to the levels that I want to go at in this class. There's no way. Because on a fly, you're going to have to make the call to change things up. You're going to have to make the call to change your move, how you're moving, why you're doing that movement to the intention level that you want. And to have a class either hold you down or try to yank you back up to a level that you can't go at that day, that the body says, no way, we're going to keep having these healing responses called tight muscles, frozen shoulders, rigidity, bone spurs, degenerated joints, torn ligaments, blah, blah, blah. And then the capacity to not be able to have the sustainability to work on relationship, work on your purpose, work on these other things that have to change. That movement is essential to allowing these things to the degree that you need to change them at. So yeah, movement is language. Don't let anybody tell you what to say. That's something I want to get you guys at. All right, back to the environment that I chose to be in. Movement inputs number 1. There will be many, many more. What will I be doing? I have no idea. I don't know who I'm going to be in 1 second from now. 1 second from now. 1 second from now. 1 second from now. How the fuck would I know? Wouldn't have any idea. I will address that version of me when it comes. Boom.